Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Echo Your English. We're really happy you're here today, listening with us, wherever you are in the world. I'm Emily.
And I'm Ryan. Thanks for spending some time with us. Today's conversation is a really important one, especially if you've ever thought, maybe I'm just not talented at languages.
Yes, if you've ever compared yourself to someone else and felt slow, frustrated, or discouraged, this episode is for you. Because today we're talking about why time matters more than talent when it comes to learning a language.
And honestly, this is something I wish someone had explained to me much earlier. For a long time, I believed that some people just have a language brain and others don't.
Same here. We grow up hearing things like, oh, she's gifted with languages, or he's just naturally good at English. And without realizing it, we start telling ourselves a story.
Yeah, the story goes something like this. If I don't learn fast, if I forget words, if my accent doesn't disappear quickly, then I must not be talented enough.
Exactly. But the truth is much simpler and much kinder than that. Language learning isn't really about talent, it's about time. Time spent listening, time spent being confused, time spent using English badly before using it well.
And honestly, this is something I wish someone had explained to me much earlier. For a long time, I believed that some people just have a language brain and others don't.
Same here. We grow up hearing things like, oh, she's gifted with languages, or he's just naturally good at English. And without realizing it, we start telling ourselves a story.
Yeah, the story goes something like this. If I don't learn fast, if I forget words, if my accent doesn't disappear quickly, then I must not be talented enough.
Exactly. But the truth is much simpler and much kinder than that. Language learning isn't really about talent, it's about time. Time spent listening, time spent being confused, time spent using English badly before using it well.
And the funny thing is, when we look at how we learned our first language, talent was never part of the conversation.
That's such a good point. No one looks at a 2-year-old and says, this child isn't talented enough to speak. We just give them time.
Years of time, thousands of hours of listening before speaking clearly, and even then, mistakes are normal.
But somehow, when we become adults, we expect ourselves to learn a new language quickly, cleanly, and without embarrassment.
And if that doesn't happen, we blame ourselves instead of the process.
I remember meeting a student once who said, Emily, I've been learning English for 6 months and I still feel slow. And when I asked how much time she spent with English every day, she said maybe 15 minutes.
That's such an honest answer, and it shows how our expectations are often disconnected from reality.
Exactly. 15 minutes a day isn't bad. It's actually a great start. But it's not about being slow or fast. It's about accumulation. Those minutes need time to stack up.
Language learning is like filling a jar with drops of water. One drop doesn't look like much, but over time, the jar fills.
And the tricky part is that you don't see progress every day. Sometimes you only notice it after months or even years.
Which can be frustrating, especially in a world where we're used to instant results.
But if you're listening right now, spending time with English through this conversation, you're already doing the most important thing.
You're giving it time.
And that matters more than any idea of talent ever could.
You know, Emily, one thing I've noticed with learners is that they often underestimate how much time they've actually spent with their own native language. When you really think about it, it's almost unbelievable.
It really is. From the moment we're born, we're surrounded by sound. People talking around us, music playing, television in the background. Even before we understand words, our brains are soaking everything in.
And nobody is timing it. Nobody says, okay, you've listened for 1,000 hours, now you're allowed to speak.
Exactly. There's no pressure, there's no test, there's no comparison with someone else's progress. There's just exposure, again and again, day after day.
But when adults learn English, suddenly everything feels measured. How long have you been learning? What level are you? How many words do you know?
And those questions can be useful sometimes, but they can also create anxiety. They make people feel like they're behind, even when they're not.
I once met a guy who said, I've been learning English for 5 years and I still make mistakes. And I remember thinking, so do native speakers.
All the time. We forget words, we say things awkwardly, we change sentences halfway through. That doesn't mean we're bad at English, it just means we're human.
And this is where time becomes such a powerful idea. Time allows mistakes to feel normal instead of shameful.
Yes, the longer you spend with a language, the more you realize that mistakes aren't a sign of failure, they're just part of movement.
Movement is a great word for it. You're not stuck, you're moving, even when it doesn't feel like it.
I think learners often expect progress to look like a straight line. Every week a little better, every month a big improvement.
But in reality, it's messy. Some days you feel fluent, other days you feel like you've forgotten everything.
And those bad days can be especially confusing. You think, yesterday I understood everything, why am I struggling today?
That happens to me too, even now. Some days my brain just feels tired.
Exactly. And tired doesn't mean untalented, it just means you're human and your brain needs rest.
This is why consistency matters more than intensity. Spending a little time with English regularly is much more powerful than studying hard for a week and then stopping.
It's like going to the gym. One intense workout won't change your body, but small, regular workouts over time will.
And no one expects to lift heavy weights on the first day.
But somehow, with language, we expect ourselves to speak perfectly very quickly.
I think part of that comes from school experiences. We're taught to see language as something you get right or get wrong.
Yes, language becomes a subject instead of a living thing.
But when you think about it as sound, rhythm, and habit, time starts to feel more important than talent.
Because habits are built slowly. You don't notice them forming, but one day you realize they're there.
Like understanding English without translating in your head.
That moment feels magical, but it only happens because of all the time before it.
Time spent listening when you didn't understand much, time spent feeling bored or confused.
And time spent showing up anyway.
That's such an important phrase, showing up anyway.
Even on days when you don't feel motivated. You know, Ryan, another thing that often gets in the way for learners is comparison. People look at someone else who seems fluent and think, they're just talented. I'll never sound like that.
Oh yes, comparison is a big one. And it's usually unfair because we're comparing our inside to someone else's outside.
That's such a good way to put it. We don't see their struggle. We don't see the years of listening, the awkward conversations, the moments of embarrassment.
We only see the results, and results can be very misleading.
I remember meeting a woman who spoke English beautifully, very natural, very relaxed. When I asked her how long she'd been using English, she said, almost every day for 10 years.
10 years. That detail changes everything.
Exactly. Suddenly, it's not magic anymore, it's time.
But learners often think in short timelines. I've been studying for 6 months, or I've been learning for a year.
And those are not small things. 6 months of learning is valuable. 1 year is valuable too.
But fluency usually lives on a longer timeline, and that's okay.
It's more like learning to play an instrument than learning a fact.
Yes, you wouldn't expect to play the piano beautifully after a few months.
And you wouldn't quit just because someone else plays better than you.
But with language, people quit all the time because they feel behind.
And that's such a loss because the only thing they were missing was more time.
I think another reason talent feels important is because we see people who speak confidently, even with mistakes.
And confidence looks like skill.
Exactly, but confidence often comes from familiarity, not perfection.
When you hear English every day, your brain starts to relax around it.
You stop panicking when you don't understand a word.
You stop freezing when you need to speak.
And that calmness makes your English sound better, even if your grammar hasn't changed much.
That's such an important point. Calm English often sounds fluent.
And calm comes from time, from being around the language long enough that it doesn't scare you anymore.
Fear is such a hidden enemy in language learning.
Yes, fear of sounding stupid, fear of making mistakes, fear of being judged.
And confidence doesn't remove fear. Time does.
The more time you spend with English, the more normal it feels.
Like hearing a song again and again until it feels familiar.
At first, you might not understand the lyrics.
But after a while, you start singing along without thinking.
That's exactly how language works.
And just like with songs, repetition isn't boring, it's how memory forms.
But many learners avoid repetition because they think it means
Something else I've noticed is that many learners confuse speed with success. They think that learning faster automatically means learning better.
yes, that pressure to be fast can really damage motivation. People say things like, I should already know this, or others learned this quicker than me.
But speed doesn't always mean depth. Sometimes learning slowly actually creates stronger understanding.
I agree. When you rush, you might memorize words, but you don't always absorb how they feel or how they're used in real life.
And language is so much about feeling, the rhythm, the tone, the emotional weight of words.
Those things take time to sink in. You can't force them.
I think of it like cooking. You can turn up the heat, but some dishes still need time to simmer.
Otherwise, they're raw in the middle.
Exactly. And English, especially spoken English, needs that slow simmer.
I once tried to learn a language very fast for a trip. I memorized phrases, practiced hard for a few weeks.
And how did that go?
I could survive basic situations, but real conversations felt exhausting. I was always translating, always tense.
That's such an honest description. Exhausting is the word many learners use.
And exhaustion often comes from not having enough time with the language, not from lack of ability.
When your brain hasn't had enough exposure, it has to work much harder.
But with time, things become automatic.
Automatic understanding is such a gift, and it arrives quietly.
One day you realized you understood a joke without thinking.
Or you react emotionally to something in English before translating it.
Those moments don't come from talent. They come from repetition over time.
And the beautiful thing is, they often surprise you.
Yes, learners rarely notice progress while it's happening.
Progress hides in everyday moments.
Like understanding a sentence you didn't understand last month.
Or feeling less nervous than before.
Or realizing you didn't translate a whole paragraph in your head.
Those are signs of growth.
But because they're subtle, learners often ignore them,
And then they say, I'm not improving.
when actually they are.
I sometimes wish learners could see a time lapse of their own progress.
That would be amazing.
Imagine listening to yourself from 1 year ago.
Most people would be shocked.
In a good way.
This is why staying consistent matters so much.
Consistency builds familiarity, and familiarity builds confidence.
And confidence changes everything.
It changes how you speak, how you listen, how you learn.
Confident learners take more risks,
They guess words. They speak even when they're unsure.
and those risks create more learning.
Fear, on the other hand, keeps learners silent.
And
I think it's also important to talk about what time actually looks like in real life, because some learners imagine they need hours and hours every day.
Yes, that idea alone can make people give up before they even start.
Time doesn't always mean sitting at a desk with a book,
In fact, some of the best learning happens when you're not trying so hard.
listening while cooking, watching something while relaxing, hearing English in the background while you're doing something else.
those moments add up.
And they're often more sustainable than intense study sessions.
I always tell learners, think in terms of contact, not study.
That's such a helpful shift. Contact with English.
Hearing it, seeing it, letting it live around you.
Just like how children learn.
Exactly. Children don't study grammar charts.
They live inside the language.
And adults can do that too in smaller ways.
Especially now with podcasts, videos, and audiobooks.
Like this one.
Yes, if you're listening right now, you're spending time with English in a very natural way.
You're hearing rhythm, pauses, hesitation, real speech,
And that kind of listening trains your ear.
which is something textbooks can't really do.
I've seen learners with amazing grammar who still struggle to understand spoken English.
Because their ears haven't had enough time.
And ears need training, just like muscles.
You don't get strong by reading about exercise.
You get strong by moving.
And you don't understand spoken English by memorizing rules.
You understand it by hearing it again and again.
Over time.
I also also think time changes your relationship with mistakes.
How so?
At the beginning, every mistake feels big.
Yes, like a spotlight is on you.
But after enough time, mistakes feel smaller.
You stop taking them personally.
You correct yourself and move on.
Or you don't correct yourself, and that's okay too.
Because communication still happens.
And communication is the goal.
Not perfection.
I wish more learners heard that early.
Me too. Perfection is such a heavy burden.
And it's not even realistic.
Native speakers aren't perfect.
Not at all.
We change our sentences midway.
We use fillers, we repeat ourselves.
We say like.
And learners often think those are mistakes.
But they're actually signs of natural speech.
And you only start using them naturally after spending a lot of time listening.
Time teaches you what sounds normal.
And what sounds normal often matters more than what sounds correct on paper.
That's such an important distinction.
Spoken language lives in real life, not in textbooks.
And real life is messy.
But also forgiving.
Especially when you give yourself time.
Time to grow, time to adjust.
Time to sound like yourself in English.
That's the ultimate goal, isn't it?
Yes, not sounding perfect.
But sounding like you.
You know, Ryan, there's another idea that often holds learners back, and that's the belief that they've started too late.
Oh, yes, I hear that all the time. I'm too old to learn English well.
And it breaks my heart a little every time.
Mine too, because age isn't the wall people think it is.
Adults may learn differently from children, but different doesn't mean worse.
Adults actually have strengths that children don't.
Like awareness, motivation, life experience.
And the ability to connect ideas.
Exactly. Adults understand context much faster.
But what adults don't always give themselves is enough time.
They expect adult results with child-level exposure.
That's such a clear way to say it.
A child might hear the same simple words thousands of times.
And no one gets impatient with them.
But adults hear a word twice and think, why can't I remember this?
And then they blame their age.
When really, they just need more repetition.
More time with that word in different situations.
Time to hear it used naturally.
Time to feel comfortable using it themselves.
Learning later in life isn't a disadvantage.
But rushing is.
And rushing usually comes from fear.
Fear of wasting time.
Fear of falling behind.
Fear of looking foolish.
But ironically, rushing often wastes more time.
Because it leads to burnout.
Or quitting.
And quitting is the only thing that truly stops progress.
As long as you stay, time is on your side.
I love that idea. Time is on your side.
It doesn't care how old you are.
It only responds to consistency.
Even slow consistency.
Especially slow consistency.
Because slow means sustainable.
And sustainable means long-term.
Long-term is where real language lives.
I also think learners underestimate how much life experience helps with language.
Yes. Understanding emotions, relationships, situations.
When you already know life, learning the words for it becomes easier.
You're not learning ideas from scratch.
You're just giving them new labels.
And time helps those labels stick.
The more situations you experience in English, the stronger the connection becomes.
That's why watching shows, listening to stories, and hearing conversations matter so much.
They connect language to real feelings.
And feelings make memory stronger.
Much stronger than memorization.
So when learners say, I'm too old, I want to say, no, you're just human.
And being human means learning takes time.
Always has, always will.
The only difference is, now you're...
I think this is a good moment to talk about patience, because patience and time are really connected.
Yes, patience is what allows time to do its work.
Without patience, time feels painful.
And learners start fighting the process instead of trusting it.
I've noticed that when learners become impatient, they often change methods constantly.
Oh, that's such a common pattern.
One week they're watching videos, the next week they're memorizing word lists, then they switch again.
They're always searching for the best method.
But the best method is often the one you can stay with.
Exactly, not the fastest, not the hardest.
The most consistent. Time plus consistency beats talent every time. And patience helps you stay consistent.
Without burning out.
Burnout is another sign that time isn't being respected.
How so?
When people try to force progress, they overload themselves.
Too much input, too many expectations.
And then English becomes stressful.
When learning should feel curious, even enjoyable.
Enjoyment makes time pass more easily.
And when time passes easily, you stick with it longer.
That's why liking what you listen to matters.
So much.
If you enjoy the voices, the topics, the tone, you'll keep listening.
Even on days when you're tired,
And those tired days still count.
they count a lot.
Because showing up on low energy days builds habit.
And habit is stronger than motivation.
Motivation comes and goes.
Habit stays.
And habits are built through time, not talent.
Another full circle.
It really all comes back to time, doesn't it?
It does. Time is the quiet hero of language learning.
Quiet, patient, and reliable.
Unlike motivation, which is loud but unstable.
That's such a good way to describe it.
I've seen learners with amazing motivation quit
And learners with average motivation succeed,
because they kept going,
even when progress felt slow.
even when they doubted themselves.
That doubt never fully disappears, by the way.
No, it doesn't.
But time teaches you to live with it.
And not let it control you.
I think learners also need permission to be slow.
Yes, slow isn't bad.
Slow is careful. Slow is deep.
Slow is realistic.
Fast learning often skips important stages.
Like comfort, like intuition.
And intuition only grows with exposure over time.
You can't download intuition.
You have to earn it.
And earning it takes time.
So if someone listening right now feels slow, that's okay.
It might actually mean you're doing it right.
Especially if you're still showing up,
Still listening.
still trying,
Those are signs of progress.
even if they don't feel exciting
Real progress often feels boring.
or quiet,
Or invisible.
until one day it isn't.
And that's the moment people call talent.
When really it was time all along.
You know, Ryan, I think another reason people overvalue talent is because they see language as something intellectual, like math or logic.
Yes, like it's a test you either pass or fail.
But language is much closer to a habit than a skill you master once.
That's such an important distinction.
You don't finish learning a language.
Even native speakers are still learning.
New words, new expressions, new ways to say things.
Language grows as life grows.
And habits don't form overnight.
They form through repetition in everyday situations.
Saying similar things again and again.
Hearing familiar phrases in different voices.
Slowly building a sense of what sounds right.
That sense can't be rushed.
And it can't be memorized.
It lives in your ear, not your notebook.
That's why listening is so powerful.
Especially long, relaxed listening,
Like conversations that flow naturally,
where language isn't broken into pieces.
but experienced as a whole.
And when learners spend time with this kind of English, something changes.
They stop translating word by word.
They start understanding ideas.
Meaning arrives before grammar.
And that's when English begins to feel lighter,
Less like work.
more like communication.
I remember a learner telling me, I didn't study today. I just listened.
And that's not nothing.
That's huge.
Listening is studying, just quietly.
And quietly doesn't mean weak.
It means deep,
Depth is what allows language to stay with you,
not just for a test.
but for real conversations,
Real emotions.
real life,
Time gives language a place in your life.
not just in your schedule.
That's such a good way to put it.
When English becomes part of your routine, talent becomes irrelevant,
Because routine carries you forward.
even on days when you're distracted
Or tired.
or not in the mood.
Language still seeps in.
Slowly,
Naturally.
and one day you notice you're thinking in English.
Without trying.
That moment feels like magic.
But it's not magic.
It's time doing its job,
Rewiring your brain bit by bit.
just like it did with your first language,
The brain doesn't really care how old you are.
or how talented you think you are,
It responds to input
and repetition.
and patience,
All things that grow with time,
which means everyone listening has access to fluency.
as long as they stay connected
Stay curious.
and stay kind to themselves.
That kindness part matters more than people think,
Because harsh self-talk makes time feel heavier.
while kindness makes the journey feel possible.
And language learning is a journey,
A long one,
but also a beautiful one.
especially when you stop rushing.
And let time lead the way.
I also want to talk about something very practical that learners often worry about, and that's accents.
Yes. Accents carry so much emotional weight.
They really do. People often think that having a strong accent means they're bad at English.
Or that they'll never sound good enough.
But accents are not a sign of low ability.
They're a sign of history.
Every accent tells a story about where you've lived, what languages you've heard, and how long you've been using English.
And time plays a big role here too.
Yes, accents soften naturally with exposure,
Not with pressure.
and not with shame.
I've met learners who tried to erase their accent aggressively.
And it only made them tense.
That tension made their speech less clear, not more.
Whereas learners who relaxed and kept speaking,
Over time, their pronunciation improved naturally.
without them even noticing.
Again, time quietly doing its work.
I think accents also remind us that language is about connection, not performance.
If someone understands you, you're communicating successfully.
Exactly. Perfection is not the requirement.
Time helps learners realize that.
It shifts the goal from sounding native to being understood.
And that shift removes so much pressure.
Pressure steals joy from learning.
Enjoy keeps people learning longer.
Longer learning means more time.
And more time means more progress.
It's such a simple cycle, yet so easy to forget.
Especially when social media shows unrealistic examples.
Yes, short clips of people who seem fluent overnight.
Without showing the years behind it.
Time is invisible in those stories,
But it's always there.
just hidden.
I think learners also need to hear that plateaus are normal.
Oh, definitely.
Those periods where it feels like nothing is improving.
Even though you're still listening and practicing.
Plateaus are frustrating.
But they're not a sign of failure.
They are often a sign that your brain is reorganizing,
Integrating what you've learned.
preparing for the next jump,
But because it's quiet, learners panic.
and think they need a new method,
Or that they lack talent.
when really they just need to stay.
Stay with the language.
Stay with the routine.
Stay with the discomfort.
Time moves even when progress feels frozen.
Like ice melting slowly.
Like ice melting slowly, you don't see it until suddenly it's water.
I love that image.
Me too, it feels very true.
So if someone listening feels stuck right now,
That doesn't mean they're bad at English.
it might mean they're right in the middle of growth.
And the middle is always the hardest place.
Because the beginning has excitement,
And the end has confidence.
but the middle just has patience.
And time.
Which, as we've been saying, is enough.
More than enough.
I think this is also a good moment to talk directly to the listener, because a lot of people listening right now might be feeling tired.
Yes, tired of trying, tired of feeling stuck.
Or tired of starting again and again.
That cycle can be exhausting.
And when you're tired, it's very easy to believe the idea that you're just not talented enough.
Because talent feels like a shortcut.
It feels like something that would make all this effort unnecessary.
But there really are no shortcuts with language.
Only paths.
And some paths are longer than others.
But longer doesn't mean wrong.
It just means different.
I wish learners could hear this more often. You're not behind.
You're exactly where your time has brought you,
And that place is valid.
even if it doesn't match someone else's journey.
Comparison steals energy that could be used for learning.
While acceptance gives that energy back.
Acceptance of your pace.
Acceptance of your mistakes.
Acceptance of the fact that progress takes time.
When learners accept that, something shifts.
They relax.
And relaxed brains learn better.
So much better.
Stress makes language feel blocked.
But calm opens doors.
Language helps create that calm.
Because familiarity reduces fear.
The more often you hear English, the less threatening it feels.
Until one day, it's just sound.
Familiar sound.
Like a song you've heard 100 times.
You don't analyze it anymore.
You just feel it.
And not feeling is fluency.
Not perfect sentences,
Not advanced vocabulary.
but ease.
Ease comes from time.
Always has.
I think that's the message we keep circling back to.
Because it's the one learners most need to hear.
Especially those who are kind to others but harsh to themselves.
Yes, that inner voice matters.
If your inner voice says you're slow, you're bad at this, learning feels heavy.
But if it says you're learning and learning takes time, everything changes.
Suddenly, you're allowed to be a beginner.
Even if you've been learning for years.
Because beginners don't stop being beginners all at once.
They slowly grow out of it.
Over time.
Time is patient with you.
Even when you're not patient with yourself.
And that's comforting if you let it be.
Language learning doesn't demand perfection.
It only asks for presence.
Being there.
Listening.
Showing up again.
Even quietly.
Especially quietly.
Those quiet moments are doing more than you think.
So if you're listening to this while walking, resting, or just sitting,
know that this time counts.
This is learning.
Not dramatic learning.
But real learning.
The kind that stays.
The kind that builds slowly.
And leads to confidence one day.
Not suddenly.
But naturally.
In time.
You know, Ryan, something else I've noticed over the years is that learners often don't trust time because they don't trust themselves.
That's true. They worry that if they slow down, they'll stop completely.
Or that if they don't push hard, they'll forget everything.
But forgetting is actually part of learning.
Yes, forgetting and remembering again.
Each time you remember something, it becomes stronger.
And that cycle only happens with time.
You can't force it in one session.
I think many learners see forgetting as failure.
When really, it's a signal that the brain is sorting information.
Deciding what's important.
And what needs more exposure.
Which means forgetting isn't the end.
It's an invitation to meet the word again.
In a new context.
With a slightly deeper understanding.
And that's how knowledge becomes stable.
Slowly, layer by layer.
Like building a wall, not stacking cards.
Exactly. Cards fall easily.
Walls take time, but they last.
Time gives structure to learning.
Without it, everything stays fragile.
I also think learners underestimate how emotional language is.
Yes, language is tied to identity.
To how we express ourselves.
And identity doesn't change overnight.
It means time to stretch.
To adjust.
To feel safe in a new form.
Speaking in another language can feel like becoming a slightly different version of yourself.
And that can be uncomfortable.
Especially at first.
Time helps you grow into that new version.
Until it feels natural.
Until you don't feel like you're pretending anymore.
I remember a learner telling me, I don't sound like myself in English.
That's such a real feeling.
And I told her, you will, but you need time.
Because personality doesn't translate instantly.
It emerges.
As confidence grows.
As vocabulary grows.
As fear fades.
And fear fades with familiarity.
Which only comes from time.
Everything keeps pointing back to the same truth.
Time is not the enemy.
It's the partner.
And talent without time doesn't go very far.
But time without talent still works.
That's such an important sentence.
Because it means everyone listening has hope.
No special ability required.
Just presence.
Just patience.
Just time.
And time, thankfully, is something we already have.
We just need to use it gently.
Without rushing.
Without comparing.
Without punishing ourselves.
If there's one thing I want learners to remember,
it's that slow progress is still progress.
And quiet learning is still learning.
And being here now, listening now, matters.
Much more than you think.
Because one day you'll look back.
And realize how far you've come.
And it won't feel like talent.
It'll feel like time well spent.
And that's the best kind of success.
As we get closer to the end of this conversation, Ryan, I think it's important to talk about what learners can actually do with this idea of time.
Yes, because time can sound abstract.
Exactly. People might think, okay, time matters, but what does that mean for me tomorrow?
And I think the answer is simpler than they expect.
Me too. It starts with changing how you measure success.
Instead of asking, how much did I learn today?
Ask, did I spend time with English today?
That one question changes everything.
Because spending time is something you can control.
Talent isn't.
Speed isn't.
Other people's progress definitely isn't.
But time is.
Even 10 minutes counts.
Especially 10 minutes if it happens every day.
That's how language becomes part of your life, not a burden.
I also think it helps to stop waiting for motivation.
Yes, motivation is unreliable.
Some days you feel inspired.
Other days, you feel nothing.
Time doesn't care how you feel,
It just asks you to show up,
even quietly.
even passively,
Listening while resting still counts.
because your brain is still working.
I want listeners to know that there's no perfect way to use time.
There's only your way,
Your routine,
your energy level.
your life.
Language should fit into your life, not fight against it.
And when it fits, you stay longer.
Staying longer means more time.
More time means more comfort.
More comfort means better English.
It's a gentle cycle.
Not a race.
If someone listening today feels discouraged,
I hope they hear this clearly.
you are not failing.
You are learning.
And learning takes time.
Always has.
Always will.
Even for native speakers.
Especially for human beings.
And maybe that's the most comforting thought.
That there's nothing wrong with you.
You're just in the middle of the process.
And the middle is where time is doing its quiet work.
So keep listening.
Keep showing up.
Keep giving English a place in your day.
Not perfectly,
Not intensely.
just honestly.
And one day, without warning,
You'll notice that English feels easier,
lighter.
more like a friend than a challenge.
And that moment won't come from talent.
It'll come from time.
Time you invested without even realizing it.
Time like this.
Sitting, listening, understanding a little more than before.
And if you're still here with us now,
That already says a lot.
it says you're patient.
It says you care.
And it says you're on the right path.
Before we finish, we just want to say thank you.
Thank you for giving us your time today.
And for giving English your time too.
If this conversation helped you feel calmer or more hopeful,
Consider subscribing to Echo Your English.
we share conversations like this regularly to help you learn naturally.
Slowly, comfortably, and with confidence.
We'll be here.
And we hope you'll be here too.
Take care and be kind to yourself.
We'll talk again very soon.